Peace and blessings, everybody. So, Brian Stabley just posted his first Mandela effect, and I'm blown away because I did not notice Kurt Henning's name changing. Matter of fact, it's strange because Brian Stabley said that this is his first Mandela effect. That was from 4 years ago, and I'm just noticing it now. But I know I've seen his name recently. In rosters of video games and on old video footage. But yeah, if you guys don't know, Mr. Perfect, right, from the old WWF and the old WCW, his last name was Kurt Henning, Henning. And so was his father, right? The Axe Henning, right? He's a legend. He's a legend in wrestling. Kurt Henning, Mr. Perfect. I mean, come on. And now it's changed. It has changed, but I've already come across some residue. I'm just learning about this Mandela effect for the first time, and I'm blown away because we grew up with Mr. Perfect. He was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up as a kid. He was one of my favorites. All right, and then learning his name was Kurt Henning, and I never really liked his name. I still like calling him Mr. Perfect, but his name was undeniable. It's unmistakable. Henning, Henning, the Mr. Perfect, who should have been world champion at least twice. But that's a Mandela effect for you guys, right? It's crazy. Now, everywhere I go to look for footage of Mr. Perfect, I find Henning, Henning, Kurt Hennig. If you look at the graphics in WCW, Kurt Hennig, that was never his name. That was never his name. That's crazy. So here's who I'm talking about. Kurt Henning, Henning, but there's an N missing. Kurt Hennig. Oh my gosh, this is mind-blowing, y'all. This is mind-blowing. As I'm about to start the wrestling program, there's a pay-per-view on today. Kurt Hennig, oh my gosh, man. And he can't even defend himself because he's dead. It always has to do with people who died already. So the first thing I do is I hit on my brothers, because we all grew up watching wrestling. My youngest one can't remember who Kurt Henning's real name was. All right, he remembers Curtis, and that's okay. He's a young guy. But my second brother, my one who's right below me, he should know. And I asked him, "What's Mr. Perfect's real name?" He says Kurt Henning, with the right pronunciation, not this current pronunciation, but the right pronunciation and the right spelling. He typed it himself. And then when I showed him that the name changed, he can't confirm it. Why? Because people are Mandela affected. People are Mandela affected. This is mind-blowing, y'all. This is mind-blowing. And I don't know if it's a pride thing, but we got to trust our memory. We have to trust our memory that something has changed. And you might feel it deep down inside that the truth is something else, not what this current reality shows you. This is freaking crazy. This guy's a legend, all right? And I got footage. I got residue. I got people who are interviewed, other legends who are interviewed about Kurt Henning and telling stories. Check this out.
When you're the heel, fucking make the baby face. I remember on a Saturday Night Main Event, he made Hogan look like fucking Hogan could work his fucking ass off because he took such amazing fucking bumps. There's only one Kurt Henning. 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 Told by Kurt Henning. Like, Kurt was like the father of, Kurt was great. Kurt did with Shawn, with Scott.
So his real name changed in this reality, and every graphic that ever had his name on television has changed. Every billboard that had his name has changed. But here's one thing that doesn't change for some reason. URLs don't change, right? And if you know Brian Stabley, you know what I'm talking about, right? And if we look at what I just showed you right here, let me go back. YouTube have transcripts of what is being spoken on the video. And the transcripts show the correct pronunciation, the correct spelling. This is an interview of Kevin Nash talking about a story about Kurt Henning in the past. And what did she say? There's only one Kurt Henning. Kurt Henning. My gosh. These guys worked together for years in WCW. He would know. He would remember more than us. But there's people who are Mandela affected that cannot accept that his name was something different. They're going to accept today's reality. And I don't understand why. I don't understand why they do. Why they are under some sort of a spell. I don't even want to bring up their name, but there's certain people in my life in particular who I know they know the truth, but they just want to go with today's reality. I don't know. What is this Mandela effect thing? How is it working like this? Why are people getting Mandela affected? To me, the more media you consume, the easier you are to change, the easier it is to convince you of a different reality. My friends, we need to stay vigilant. We need to stay open-minded. We need to keep our eyes on God, keep our mind open, and trust our history, trust our memory. Trust our memory, guys. All right? Peace, y'all. Remember to love one another, question everything, share information, share truth. Do not be afraid to stand up for what you believe in. Peace and God bless.